name's Ashley Monroe, and I'm an instructor here at Move Studios, located in Denver, Colorado. And if you can't tell, I'm pregnant. I'm almost 7 months with my second child, and I wanted to go ahead and do a kick your butt workout using the Physioball and some weights. Now, for this workout, as I've talked about, you'll need a Physioball. I put it on top of a ring just so it doesn't meander around the room, but you can use 2 weights, kind of like a stand. And then for myself, because I'm also a personal trainer as a Pilates instructor, I grabbed 8-pound weights and 5-pound weights. If that's too heavy for you can grab 3s and 5s, or 1 pound, 2 pounds, or eliminate the weights completely. So we're gonna start standing because we gotta get this moving. And just for my cardio workouts, I tend to wear my pregnancy belt just for a little bit more support so I don't overdo it, because I'm also hypermobile. So everything just gets woo loosey-goosey down here. So we're gonna start with a hula hoop. Hula hoop, hula hoop, love me some hula hoop. I did 5 one way, 5 the other way. Right, just feels really nice to get your pelvic moving around like a sphere. And then I'm gonna stand a little bit wider than my shoulders. The farther along your pregnancy, you'll go wider. We're gonna squat down, reach it up, and I think about more pressing my arms forward in space so I don't overarch my back. Down and up, down and up. Showing you from the side, we go down and up. Every time you exhale, you're gonna wrap that baby of yours down and up, down and up. One more time, down and up. Good, now I'm gonna face front. I'm gonna turn my legs into wide second. I'm gonna make sure my heels are on the same plane. I'm gonna take my arms forward in space. I'm gonna go squat down and pull it back. Squat down, pull it back. Inhale, exhale. So I did 5 hula hoops one way, 5 hula hoops the other way. I did 10 squats, the ball pressing up, and then I'm doing 10 here. You can always do more, right? Just stop and start your video and do more for yourself. 3, 2 more, 2, one more time. Good. Now, I'm going to take my shoulders back because I want to try to stay out of my upper traps. Go the other way. I'll show you from this side. Forward. I notice I'm trying not to move my neck, right? I'm trying to keep my head tail. Okay. Last exercise for our warm-up. You start at the top side of your mat, just mainly so that you don't slip. If you don't have a mat, I would definitely put some non-slip sneakers on or some non-slip socks. So I'm gonna start standing up nice and tall. I'm gonna put my hands on my hips. I'm gonna take my left leg back, bring it forward. Right leg back, bring it forward. And I'm thinking about taking my body with me, finding this hamstring glute, stabilizing with this side as well. Keep going, keep alternating, back and front. I would not recommend forward lunges. They're a little bit harder the farther along you get in your pregnancy. And back gives you a nice psoas stretch, stretching the front of your hips. Really stick that landing, right? Back and in, back and in, back and in. Last time, I did a little bit more than 10, but you forgive yourself, right? So grab your ball, okay, and grab your weights. So I'm gonna start with my 8-pound weights. Doot, doot, doot. And if you're already a mom, or if you're gonna be a mom, you know you need to multitask. So that's why I like adding the weights with the ball. So I'm gonna take my body down. I'm gonna reach my arms up straight, okay? I'm gonna hold that there. I'm gonna rotate them front. I'm gonna keep my hips lifted. I'm gonna bend and stretch my arms. Now again, I said we were doing 10 of everything. This is a chest press. Right? My head is supported, my shoulders are supported. I feel really strong and stable with this ball. And I'm getting a nice chest workout so that I can be able to pick up my baby when she's born. 2 more without sacrificing my alignment in order to pick her up or breastfeed her. 1 more time. Now I'm going to keep my arms straight. I'm going to drop my hips and lift. Drop my hips and lift. Drop my hips and lift. If this is too much, you just bring it in. drop your hips and lift. I like this because it keeps my head tail, keeps me from going into my neck so much. Let's do 4 more. Sits bones widen, sits bones narrow, sits bones widen, sits bones narrow. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, exhaling on the exertion. Now to come up and out of it, I'm going to bring my weights in. I'm going to come all the way up to sit up on top of the ball. Find my sits bones. Sitting up, finding my hamstring glutes, shoulders over hips, palms facing front, and I'm going to bicep curl. I like sitting on the ball because it kind of gives that buoyancy to my pelvis. Makes me work a little bit more on my TA. And it makes me not lose my belly button to spine, which I just said, and tuck my pelvis because I can really feel that on the ball because the ball's unstable. 3 more. I hope you're already feeling it. I'm sweating. 2 more. 1 more time. Good job. Now, I'm going to put these down. Put my weights to the side. Now, I would recommend doing that set 3 times through. So I'm not going to show you. So if you need to, stop your video, restart. Do a second set and a third set. So now, I'm going to grab my ball, and we can't really lie our belly on the ball because there's a baby there. So I'm going to take the ball forward in space. I'm going to bring my right foot forward, my hands on top of the ball. I'm going to bend my front leg, and then I'm going to lift my back leg up and lower back down. And lower. I'm going to go over, shoulders over hands, and then lower, and lift, and lower. Again, I'm doing 10. You can always do more if you want. We're going lift and lower. Really square off those hips, which I know is hard. I know some of us want to do this. I can really unsquare my hips. We want to try to keep them really square as much as possible. Exhale. 2 more. 1 more time. Good. Now I'm going to bring that foot forward, other leg back. Find that squareness in my hips. Inhale here. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale, lift. So now I'm getting hip extension, just like the bridging, right? And finding my hamstring glute. I'm working on stability of my upper body. 3. 2 more. 1 more time. Bring it back down. You can always take a stretch in between. You reach your hips up and back. Now I'm not doing this. I'm not sitting in my heels. I'm forward in space. Stay here. Find that hamstring glute stretch. And then I can accommodate my feet for my belly. Bend your knees. Exhale, stretch. Bend your knees. Exhale, stretch. 3 more. 3. Exhale, stretch. 2 more. 2. Exhale, stretch. Last time. Good. Bend the knees. Slowly roll all the way back up to stand up. So now I'm going to take my 8-pound weights. I'm going to do 1 more exercise for this little set. 8-pound weights. Do. Okay. I'm going to lift my leg up. Right? Now I'm going to bend it in. This is where we're staying. Okay? So I'm staying here, and I'm going to hammerhead bicep curl up. 1, 2, 3. And this is mainly so I get that stability of the lower half of my leg, right? Because we tend to do this. So I want to just press down. Now, if your ball is a little bit too big, you can always use a stool at home or a chair. I'm going to do 4 more. And I'm pressing down through that ball. So I really feel my standing leg hamstring glute and my elevated leg standing hamstring glute. 2 more. 1 more time. Good. I'm going to bring that foot down. Okay, I'm going to extend that other foot up there. I like to extend the leg out straight first. You can always be close to a wall to kind of help you with that stabilization. Bend that leg in. And again, hammerhead bicep curl. Bring it back in. Bring it back in. Keep wrapping that baby. Keep that head tail. Keep those armpits pulling down towards your hips, right? Keep that forward gaze, because if you look down, you're probably going to go down. So we don't want that, right? 3 more. 2 more. 1 more time. Bring it down. Set your weights down. Stand up nice and tall. So you can repeat that set I just did, right? So remember here, lifting the leg up. You can repeat that second or third time, standing up nice and tall, doing your bicep curls with your foot elevated on top of the ball, right? Working on stability. Now third set. So I have to go lighter in my weight, so I'm going to grab my 2 5s. Again, I started with 2 8s, and I'm going to sit up nice and tall on the ball. All right. I'm going to find my sits bones. Okay. I'm going to find my feet. I'm going to find my shoulders over hips, and I'm going to go into a tricep extend. Bring it back in. Bring it back in. Keep wrapping that baby. Exhale. Exhale. Right? Because I'm trying to not necessarily talk about stability through the pelvis for the adductors, because in our second and third trimester, we kind of want to stay away from loaded adductor work. So I'm just trying to keep my feet solid and my knees facing front. Okay, let's say like this is a easy tricep for you. You can always take your arms up and overhead and do it from behind. Again, I would not recommend doing this standing, just because you have a tendency of already leaning farther back into your lower back. So I would definitely do all of this overhead stuff seated, right? I'm going to give myself 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more time. So remember, no loaded adductor work second and third trimester. It can get a little dicey, right? So that's why seated up on the ball, you can just work on stability. So I'm going to put the weights down on either side. I'm going to scoop back to the tail end of my mat so I have enough space. I'm going to walk myself out. Okay. I'm going to get my hips below my heart, and I'm going to take myself into a thoracic extension. So my elbows are pitched forward. I'm holding the base of my skull. I go back in space. Exhale back up. Go back in space. Exhale back up. You can tell when I'm in the wrong position, because if I go farther back, you can literally see her pop up. And that's not really great for me as a mama, right? So I want to go back in space again. Exhale, come back up. And go back in space again. Exhale, come back up. And I keep reaching my hips back into the ball for stability through my pelvis. And go back down. Exhale, back up. 4 more. 3 more. This is just such a nice thoracic extension for anyone, but especially for us ladies that are pregnant. Good. Now I want to take a nice stretch. I just drop my hips down. I'm still putting pressure back into the ball so I don't fall completely off of the ball, right? But I'm taking a nice stretch of my quadratus labor in my lower back. And I'm going to come all the way back up. Now while we're here, okay, I want to practice stability, right? So I'm going to bring my arms out to the side. And I'm going to exhale, find that stability, extend my leg out, bring it back in, lower back down. Now, a lot of people lift up, but if I lift up too high, you can see myself sink into the ball. So I just want to stay here, and I'm going to lengthen. Bring it back in. Bring it back in. When you connect your breath to your movement, and if you can even create a sound like gets you to relax a little bit, right? It's still hard, okay? I'm still working out. I'm still sweating. This is so much harder than it looks, guys. So I encourage you to try this even when you're not pregos. 1 more time. Good job. Now I'm going to come back up. Why did I do that exercise, right? It seems like a simple exercise, but it's to find my breath pattern again. Because sometimes when we're working out really, really hard, we tend to lose our breath. So that's really important, especially while you're pregnant. So I'm going to give you this next exercise. I'm going to give you 2 modifications. We talked about adductor work loaded for second and third trimester. Let's pretend I'm not in my third trimester and I'm in my first. This is a really great exercise. And then I'm going to show you on the other side a modification for second and third trimesters. So I'm going to grab my 2 5s. Okay, I'm going to stand up nice and tall next to my lovely blue ball. And I'm going to take my leg and I'm going to elevate it up. Boom. And I want to make sure my hips are underneath me, right? I'm going to start with my hips underneath me. I'm going to start up nice and tall through my head tail. Then I'm going to sit my hips back, down, bicep curl to a shoulder press. Here we go again. Down, hips underneath me, bicep curl to a shoulder press. Again, really great exercise to do first trimester because it's a loaded adductor exercise. Woo, because that leg is elevated. And then on the other side, I'm going to give you a modification for second and third. Now, I've been doing this a long time, so this is why I can do this in my third trimester. I do not recommend it in your third trimester, but I wanted to give you a modification so you can work on finding those inner thighs a different way. 3 more. 2 more. One more time. Good. Now I'm going to take that foot down. Now I'm going to completely remove the ball. So I'm just going to lift my ring up, put it to the side, put my ball on top. Now, modifications. I want you to understand that doesn't make you less than. You are already a rock star. You are creating a life in your belly. A modification is just allowing you to do the exercise without hurting yourself, right? So we did my right leg elevated. Now I'm going to take my left leg out to the side. Now I want to find that hamstring glute, right? This is a lazy butt. This is an engaged hamstring glute, right? So it's almost like I'm posing, getting ready for my catalog shoot, right? Posing here. Make sure my feet are on the same plane. I'm going to go down, come up, push up. Right? You can tell how much more stable this is because I'm grounded into the floor and I'm not elevating my leg with a ball, right? I'm also not leaning back when I do an overhead press because my weights are lighter. That's what I talked about. That's why I switched to 5s because I knew if I pressed up from the side, I would do this if it was heavier. And that's not so good, right? For my baby or for my back. And here we go again. Down. And up, and down, and up. 3 more. Modifications don't make things easy, people. 2 more. 2. Last time. Good. Put that down. So while we're here, without the ball, okay, I'm going to take my legs wider than my hips. Last exercise in this series, right? This is our 3rd series. We're going to go down, exhale up, down, exhale up. Now, if these are too heavy for you, just grab 3s, grab 1, grab 2s. Who cares? Down, exhale up. Hips go back underneath. Hips go back underneath. Right? You can also change the position of your hand. Palm face up. You can go palm face front, right? I like palm face down. One more time. And then I want you to finish the set, put your hands on your hips and be like, I am Superwoman. I can do anything, include grow a baby. So, last and final set is coming up next. 4th and final stretch, right? So we're going to put these weights down. All right, I'm going to put them to the side and I'm going to grab just my ball. Okay, 4th and final stretch. We kind of already did one of these exercises in the 2nd set. 4th and final stretch, 4th and final series of this series is to actually end with some light stretching, right? So I'm going to take the ball forward. I'm gonna push that ball forward. Remember when we did the hip extension, we did this? If you had to take a break, right? If you didn't have to take a break, don't do this in the second set. I hold this here. Now, we talked about this in the second set. I'm not gonna lean back into my heels, right? I almost should feel like there's a little piece of sandpaper underneath my heels. I'm gonna hold this here. I'm gonna look forward at the ball. I'm gonna tuck my pelvis, scoop out my belly. Ugh. Get that nice lumbar flexion, and then go back out to neutral. Exhale. Go back out to neutral. Exhale. Go back out to neutral. And again, exhale. Go back out to neutral. Now this fourth and final set, you can do once, or you can repeat 3 times. Right? I think I calculated this correctly, but if you do everything 3 sets, it actually should take you a nice hour. And bring it back through. And then I'm going to come all the way up to stand up. Put the ball here. Roll my shoulders back a couple times. Go back out. Put that ball away from me. And then I'm going to take my hand across my body and do a slight twist, right? Nice thoracic rotation, nice lat stretch, nice pec stretch. Bring my hands back up, bend my knees, and just stay here and stretch. This is almost like a standing extended child. And straighten my legs, slowly come up and out of it. Go take a seat on the ball. So, bouncing, really great, right? People are like, your baby's gonna come out dancing, Ashley. Whatever, right? This is for my spine, right? In order to be a good mom, you have to make time for yourself, right? And that means taking care of your body. So, just swing your arms, get that circulation going throughout the body. It's a nice little break. It also makes you giggle, right? Because you think about being a little kid and holding on to one of those things, right? Exercise is serious, but it's not serious business. Serious fun, right? So I'm here. I'm going to kind of go back to my hula hoop. Remember? Hula hoop on the ball this time. 2, 3, 4, 5. Go the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now, I'm going to take my foot and take one leg off out to the side. Now, when I'm pushing through the outer foot, I want to think about my outer heel, my outer arch, and my pinky toe pressing down into the mat. Now, I'm going to take my arms out to the side. Again, I can't see my hands. I want to see my hands, right? So I'm not going to pop my ribs. This is not a twerk video. Inhale here. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale up. Exhale, rotate. Back to center. Exhale. Ooh, she just kicked me. She liked that. That's what I think about as far as her kicks. When she kicks me, I'm like, okay, she's reaffirming her space in the world. She's letting me know she's there, right? Because that's how you can really communicate with your baby in your belly. Exhale, twist. Come back to center. We're doing 5 on each side, just like the hula hoop. Exhale. Rotate. Last time. Come back up. Rotate. Come back to center. Good. Come back to center. Find your ball. Other side. Leg out. Arms out. Exhale, side stretch. Come back up. Rotate. Right? I'm not forcing this rotation. I'm going to my point where I can stop, and then I'm coming back to center. Exhale. Bring it back. Rotate. Bring it back in. 3 more. Side stretch. Come back up. Exhale, rotate. 2 more times. Going side, bringing it back in, rotate. Last time. Exhale, side stretch, bring it back up. Exhale, rotate, bring it back to center. Okay, here we go. So we want to make sure, because we did a lot of overhead presses, right? We did a lot. We did chest, we did biceps, we did booty, we did triceps, we did shoulders, we did a lot. So I want to make sure that I have my head connected to the rest of my spine. So I'm going to pull my head back in space. I'm going to bring my hand to my ear, and I'm going to do a slight pull to the right. Reach my left arm down. And change. Head back. Boom. Across. Right. Bring it down. Now, we used to do the stretch like this, but what's wrong with this? This is up, right? My shoulder's up. So I just bring my shoulder down. Oh my gosh, I actually feel the stretch now, right? We're trying to stay in alignment while we stretch, people. Because then you're giving yourself bad habits, and you don't want to do that even when you're pregnant. And then you just relax your arms down. Again, not so good. So much better for you. Hold that there. And let it go. Whew. So the last tidbit I learned from the owner of Move Studios, Lindsay Hanahan, is a nice little thing for you to learn before baby is born, before nursing. And this goes for everyone, not just pregnant ladies, but figuring out where your head needs to be on top of your spine. Because as you get more pregnant, right, farther along in your pregnancy, you start to do this. And sometimes you do this. Right? And when you get to nursing, okay, and you start to hold the baby, you start to look down, you're like, oh my gosh, I created this beautiful little human, I love you more than anything else. Your neck's going to get worse and worse. So you should learn it now so you don't do it later. So, little tidbit. Here we go. So, I want to relax because I want to figure out where my head naturally sits. So don't try. Just relax. Then I'm going to take my hand up to where my nose is. Now, this is going to give me feedback to where my head needs to sit. So now I'm going to pull my head away from my hand back in space. And I'm going to hold it back there for 5. Now I'm talking to you because if you can talk at home, you can really identify if you're doing it correctly. See how my nose is away from my hand? Oh my gosh. Now I'm going to pull my hand to my nose. Again, I'm pulling my head away, but I'm not doing this, right? Because that's bad. I'm just bringing my head back in space and I'm holding for 5 seconds. I'm talking to you, so it's a little bit more than 5. You're not going to hurt yourself if it's more than 5. It's still away from my hand. Oh, okay. Here we go. Hopefully just one more time. And I'm going to sink my head away. I'm going to make sure I'm not tucking. I'm sitting up nice and tall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, I got to do it one more time. That's okay. Here we go. One more time, Ashley. Bring it back. And relax. Yeah. So it took me 4 times, right? And that's okay, right? You have to be patient with your body. Everything's okay. Everything should not be perfect. Life is not perfect. But I want you to remember that this workout was made for you and that you're a rock star and that you really have to be patient with your body because every woman is different. Every pregnancy is different. My first pregnancy was so different from this. So you just have to be patient with your body and just remember, I'm a rock star, I'm a superwoman, I am growing a human, I'm amazing. Do something nice for yourself and do this video a couple times. Remember to up the rounds, up the weight if you'd like, or lower the weight, or lower the rounds. Again, my name is Ashley Monroe, and it's brought to you in part by Move Studios located in Denver, Colorado. Bye!